Hello again, everyone. We are Gaming by Gaslight, and welcome to the demo for Traveling at Night, a upcoming CRPG from the Weather Factory, who you may know from Cultist Simulator and Book of Hours. I was offered a bit of a chance to take a early look at the demo, but I believe, unless I'm mistaken, by the time this video goes live, you could probably download it to check it out yourself if you are so interested. So let's jump on in and see what we're dealing with here. Alright, who are you, Hollow Man? Brain short-circuiting. Oh, I'm gonna butcher this. Antibased? Nope, that's wrong. That's wrong. I'm not gonna say it again. Alps Maritimes, which also... Don't question yourself. Just butcher the pronunciation, move on. November 1948, at least as far as anyone can tell anymore. 12 years ago in Cracow, the worms hollowed me out. For the next 3 years, they steered me all around Europe, until at last I got away to a place where there was a kind of help. The worms are gone now, but I've only begun to fill up the spaces they left. It was back with the Bureau again when the worms took me, but I still think of myself above all as an exorcist. Spencer has had many careers, but there is one where he felt he belonged. Through the long years of his hollowing in the dark, all his skills decayed, but the ones from that career decayed slowest. Let's see here. Do we want to be a writer, a conjurer, a physician, an exorcist? You know what? We'll go with writer, mostly because the story description implied this is the worst possible option. And I find that funny. What else can an educated man with no useful skills do for a living? Investigative journalism, book reviews, pseudo-anonymous fiction, plays no one would perform. As a writer, I made a lot of the wrong kind of friends. Good times. From 1921 to 25, Spencer worked as a journalist and private inquiry agent. Alright, so now we've got some passions. Whimsy. Or ambition. Or cynicism. You know, I feel like as my own life has gone on, I've become far more cynical than I used to be. I mean, the state of the world today kind of sometimes leans into that, but you know, you have to have a certain amount of whimsy, right? Alright, so we have Edge. All conquest occurs at the edge. One who dwelt there was blind, and never was strong. Of the third, we did not speak. Edge is the principle of battle and struggle. Okay, so the big key for this is sort of like our attack to an extent. Forge. The Forge is still the principle that transforms and destroys. Grail is unaccounted now. The Grail principle once honored equally the birth and the feast. Perhaps it does still. Principle that continues and preserves. So this is like our health, I believe. The interesting thing is I remember all these from Cultist Simulator, but my brain also has failed me, and I don't remember exactly how they correspond to more traditional stats. Exploration, enlightenment, and hope. I do like that. That sounds good. Principle of chaos and yearning. Interesting. Anyway, we'll worry about those things by and by. We probably want to get a little bit of a mix of stats. Birdsong, music, riddles, miscellanea. Half-remembered conversations, the fruits of gossip and eavesdropping. One of the arts unconsidered, it can be used at thresholds and verdant places. Failing a birdsong check adds weariness. Bosk. Dread. Lore of the primeval world, rarely written, often felt. Okay, verdant and shadowed places. Charm. I don't think I'm very charming. Dignity. Don't have any of that. Eloquence. I'm good with words. I like to pretend I am. This can be useful when I want to explain to someone why they might want to help, or at least ensure they'll enjoy listening. It can also be used for speed reading or spotting details like word choice and subtext, a worldly skill. We have 20 points to assign, so we can kind of... I think I'll put at least one in there. Hushery. What does that tell us? Oop. Aesthetics, necromancy, silence. A night art for quiet and shadowed places. Failing hushery adds dread. Illumination. Let's see. Holy and quiet places. Exercises to purify and illuminate the self and its surroundings. Spivery. That's a new word for me. I might be able to find goods on the black market, and if I had to do something criminal, I'd have a good start. Sophistication. Knowledge of art, culture, life's finer material pleasures, the ability to pick up subtle references or make clever ones. Scholacosophy? I feel like I've butchered that as well. Study of things that should not be studied. I mean, oh, we actually can't invest in that. Alright, well, let's see. We have maybe 5 in you. What are you good for again, Mr. Birdsong? Music, riddles, and miscellanea. I think maybe 4 in that. Put an extra 1 in there. Extra 1 in there. A little bit of you. What is observation? I do like observing things. Mr. Tooltip? I notice details others don't. You know what? We'll, let's make that high. I feel like that can then be a little bit of a, Sherlock... oh, as my voice fails me. A bit of a, Holmesian, you know, just observing people thing. You know what? Let's make that a little higher. And then we will round things out with a little bit of that. Now, am I making the classic mistake of trying to be a jack of all trades and then will be actually incapable of anything? Oh, and actually, 7 is as high as I can go. So... you know what? A little more sophistication. We can pretend. Alright. Now that I have exhaustively spent some time building our character... Oh, wait. Our sign is Metaphrastes? Probably butchered that as well. A heart condition. I picked it up at the stag door while I was away. My heart yearns to rise. Sometimes I think it might leave me behind. Excuse me again. When I came back to Europe after the war, my heart told me I should seek out Nina Lagasse. Lagasse? Either way. Actress, artist, witch. She'll know where I can find the things I need to fill my emptiness again. Nina is notoriously elusive, but I followed her trail from Alexandria, where they brought me back to Ant. I'm just going to call it that because I know at least I'm getting that syllable correctly. Where I now arrive. And then we shall begin. Alright, and here we are. Let's take a little look around before we actually move anywhere. Alright, and I guess we want to go to the car. That seems reasonable to me. Character, inventory, journal, recipes, map. Alright, the headlights burn, the engine rumbles. Let us take a little peek through the old window. The driver turns his head, eyes steady under the gamma badge cap of the state milice, and meets my gaze for a moment. It's rarely wise to attract the attention of the milice. Milice, don't know what that means exactly, but I'm assuming it's like some form of police. So the mill makes me think it's military in some way. I'm gonna say police. Probably not good people. Alright, so with that... Ooh, hello. I had a feeling this poster would be something. No refunds for the Horizon. Horizon, the poster reads. And below in words from several languages, sun, sea, night, line, morning. There is something more here. But what? This is a crafting venue. Crafting is one of the more complicated parts of the game. You might want to come back once you've played more of the tutorial and gathered some memories and influences. But it's up to you. Aw, come on, let's do it. It's probably gonna be a terrible blunder on my part, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta blunder in order to, you know, learn. Let's see. Nyctodromy, Horomagistry, Birdsong. Once I'd have gone to a crossroads to call them up, but this is just as good. Well, I do have Birdsong. Other two things, not so much. Alright, what do we have? Oh my goodness. Okay, they weren't kidding when they said this is complicated. But then again, maybe I'm overthinking it, because like all the lines sort of, you know, maybe make it look more difficult than it really is. View a recipe anywhere. Craft where venue and recipe match skill. To move, click on the ground. Oh, wait, we're still reading tutorials there. Spencer was never really an adept, and the worms took much of his ability from him, but he can prepare tools to achieve a variety of supernatural effects and dialogue. As his unworldly skill increases, he'll be able to create more powerful tools. You need to be at a crafting venue to make anything. You're at one now, but you can look through Spencer's recipes whenever you like. Okay. I don't think I have any actual recipes. That was not what I needed. Okay. Ah, here we are. So, Winter Memory. Use a winter influence to subvert 2 edge influences into a winter memory. And I don't think I actually have anything really. Okay, so we've selected a particular recipe, but I don't think... Yeah, I don't really have any of like the full pieces of any recipe, so I don't think there's anything I can actively do right now. But it does give us a chance to look at something. Ah, I see. Or actually, maybe I do? Oh, right. There you are. Archery. So I need these two things. And we don't have any of those things, so... I think Yeah. Alright, so I don't think we can actually craft anything right now, but we did get a little peek. So let us take the long, rattling road. Long, rattling road from Alexandria to Ant. Through the mountain, forest, and choking smoke, but I'm here at last. You know what? I could use a bath. Also, this is a little bit of worm work right here. Let's see. My hair and collar are gritty with coal dust. The ticket inspector was smoking all the way from Milan. Ugh, I hate the smell of cigarette smoke. It actively makes me sick. But we'll worry more about our hair and collar. At least it's raining. Mixed blessing. Advice. Welcome to traveling at night. That tiny choice will have a tiny consequence. Later. In a moment, another tiny choice. Ant. Before war came to the world. The next choice acts with a passion. Choose a passion you possess to refresh pips in your aspect pool. Choose a new one to start on the path to acquiring it. You can have up to 3 passions. But really, just pick the option that suits you. The game works best when you do that. Ant. Before the war came to the world, this was the sweet blue eye of the Riviera. Yachts and parties and film star villas. Picasso painted his Perraults here by the sea. Whimsy, which I already have. But Picasso had an owl. Interesting. Years ripe with opportunity. I could have made my mark. Cynicism. This was never going to last. I mean, there's probably value in having a mix of things. Let's go with a little bit of ambition. Active with passion, ambition. I was in London, reviewing books and trying to get my play staged. I could have been rubbing shoulders with Cocteau and Bischoff. I feel like I'm butchering these and revealing my lack of culture. And Stravinsky, writing film scripts and librettos. We won't usually tell you explicitly which choices act with which passions. We let you roleplay, or guess. That feels good. The wars and their plagues took the glitter off those golden evenings, left the air dense and villainous. But I have to find Nina Lagasse, and her tale has brought me here. Heart's desire. I followed Nina to the city of Ant. In the French state, the southern half of divided France. Ah, interesting. As you can probably gather, this is not the 1940s Europe that we know. My heart urges me to find her soon, but I don't always listen to my heart. My heart urges me to find her soon. Since I came back to the world, I've learned to listen to my heart. Well, sometimes you do have to follow your heart, and it may lead you in the right direction, may lead you in the wrong direction, but at least it's a direction. Aha, we've gained a little bit of Grail. Let us look for Nina. Until you find her, why is less important than where. I always like the kind of, like, deliberately, I'm going to say obtuse, way that a lot of stuff in these games is presented, where a lot of the time it often feels like we're just getting an outline of what we're actually supposed to look at, and then we're kind of left to fill in and figure stuff out on our own, which is always fun. I like games and stories that do that, where there's clearly deeper lore and deeper meanings to find, but they're not just told to you. I mean, sometimes I like a story where I'm just told what it is that, you know, the writer wants you to think and feel. But sometimes it's just nice to have something where it's like, you know what? Here's some stuff. You make up your own meaning. Alright, double-click to run. If you click somewhere distant, you'll break into a run anyway, perhaps from sheer enthusiasm or perhaps out of desperation. Let's have a little peek. So there's some stuff over here, but of course, we can go inside this library. The Library of Hours is what I believe that says in English. Oh, wait, before I go inside... Oh, wait, too late. Nope. No, it's not. Rue Racine is deserted. I feel like I'm not pronouncing that quite right either. The rain, a curfew, or some nastier reason. When you move the cursor over something interactable, or hold, it'll highlight. Or you can hold Z to highlight everything interactable on screen. That is very useful. Oh, I should have been more curious. I had a feeling, but I didn't really deal with that, did I? An optimist would say, Europe's still healing. Others would say, Europe's taking its time to die. Well, in one sense, we're all taking our time to die, aren't we? Alright, what do we have here? The rain's only half erased the chalk. The bookshop owner must have relettered it just this morning. A determined soul. Let's see, anything... Oh, some flowers. The rain's perked up these flowers, at least. Ah, I see, we're playing an optimist. Alright, welcome warmth. I'm no longer chilly. We've also gained a memory of scent. Let's have a little peek. Sturdy, nutritious literature layers gloweringly beneath a light topping of brightly colored novels about people falling in things, falling off of things, or inventing cocktail mixing pianos. Interesting. Now we've gained a little bit of lantern influence. Knowledge. Knowledge of things that are perhaps best left unknown. Ah, what do we have here? The memory that does not die. Near one shelf in the corner of the shop, the crackling of the rain is less audible. Even my footsteps are softer. A sign on the shelf reads, Silence. We can step away. For a practitioner of hushery or illumination, this place is an opportunity. Let us examine the books. You found my graveyard. Andre, huh? Every book there was written by someone alive when the war began, dead when it ended. Above all, a writer. Run fingers over a volume of commentary on 18th century drama. Les Pièces Muettes. Again, butchering pronunciation. Please forgive me, all French-speaking individuals. The speechless plays. Oh, maybe I should have just read the English translation first. A complicated memory stirs. Gained memory. Lamistide. Camden Lock, 1925. Interesting. The books in the graveyard are for display only, not for sale. Bit annoying, but understandable, I guess. Sorrow. Near one shelf in the corner of the shop, the crackling of the rain is less audible. Even my footsteps are softer. A sign on the shelf reads... Oh, wait, we kind of got that. You know what, let's take a little peek at this, because we do have a bit of hushery, as I recall. For practitioner of hushery or illumination, the place is an opportunity. But... Again, I still don't really have... Actually, wait. No, I do have some stuff. Do I have enough stuff? Answer is no. So I can't craft a little bit of light. But can I craft an egg? Answer is no. Alas, I do not. And again, we'll probably figure out some more interesting stuff with this. I assume there's going to be at least like one mandatory thing where we have to do some crafting, which will help, you know, kind of get us really started. But for now, let us move on. And before we talk to Andre, we'll just kind of browse through everything. Because as I would in real life, I would engage with everything but the human in the room first. Elegant ladies preen, elegant gentlemen cavort. More ladies, some pulp westerns, forever elegant ladies, blood-drenched tales of Parisian crime, and one more particularly splendid lady with particularly splendid hair. Saw this in 37, the year before I went away. The worms gave me what you might call an afternoon off, and I sat in the cinema watching our heroes cross the border into Switzerland. That's when I started to plan my own escape. Also, if I recall correctly, the worms are some kind of eldritch abomination that, like, devour entire timelines, I think, if I'm remembering my overall Secret Histories lore correctly. Woman bites man, man dies. Man fake death, snake bites woman, woman dies. Man resurrects woman. A love story. It's a pretty complicated tale, but, you know, the most complicated tales involve lovers killing each other, apparently. Alright, now let us address the human in the room. Posters for poetry, newspapers for prose. The bookseller raises her gaze from the newspaper. She looks me up, then down, then up, with careful interest. Andre, good afternoon. You are looking for something. She approves and is now receptive. Do I cut immediately to the point? You know, let's get to the point. Or wait, we could ask what kind of book she has. Paper list. Oh, what's this? Skill checks. Choice with a skill icon needs a skill check. An invisible die is rolled, added to your skill level, and compared to the difficulty level of the check. The choice will give you your basic chance of success. Hover your cursor for more details. And technically, it's actually an invisible token being drawn from an invisible bag. Oh, also, I feel stupid, but I've just noticed that I can actually get some more stuff by hovering over these. And the players were robed and their faces veiled, and the robes and veils were alike, and their names were Fate and Chance. Lord Dunsany, Time and the Gods. What's random, what's fair? If you roll a 10-sided die 100 times and get a 1 every time, is that fair? Yes, says Chance. No, says Fate. Or the other way around. Ah. Okay. Now, unfortunately, the tooltip kind of cut off there, but I believe what it was getting at is that if you fail enough times in a row, the game kind of starts weighting itself towards giving you a favorable outcome, which is always nice, because, and also, you know, little game dev secret is a lot of games that involve chance do that, because it is well known that, in fact, a lot of games kind of fudge the actual percentages, and they're actually higher than what are displayed. XCOM, I think, is a pretty notorious example of that, where a 75% chance is probably, like, actually, like, a higher value than that. Though, of course, XCOM is also notorious for missing when you have a 95% chance, but of course that's, you know, odds for you. Anyway, let's not wander off a little too far from the game. But it's kind of fun sometimes thinking about, you know, those little, the little cheats that game developers do in order to kind of, you know, make you feel better about yourself when playing, especially when the odds don't always seem to favor you. Because everyone likes to feel a little, you know, a little special, a little important when you're playing a video game. Even if you're terrible. Alright, let's see. Anything by Spencer Hobson? Ah, that's me. Aha! Whimsy. We have recovered 1 moth and 1 rose. I don't think. Wait, no, I remember that name. Aha, here. Also, wait, what's this? Here's a footnote about footnotes. Why does it disturb us that the map be included in the map and the 1001 Nights in the Book of the 1001 Nights. And here's another footnote. If only life... Oh, can I... I was going to say for a second, because there's highlights in there. Could I... Actually, if I click... blast. I was going to see if I could then end up getting like a real string of footnotes where I kind of hover from one to the other. Maybe someday. Oh wait, hang on a second. Experiences can be used to increase skills or learn new ones. You'll need experiences that match at least one aspect of the relevant skill. Interesting. Interesting, okay. So using the middle mouse button, we can then... Okay, so that's how I start winding my way through various footnotes. Okay. Alright, but we'll come back to all that. I'm getting the impression there's a lot of stuff that I could be getting into here, but I'm just really digressing and sort of meandering my way. Let's get back to things. Voila! The Pilgrim Rose. The only play of mine ever published. Galopoli pulled some strings. It is too mystical for me, and the translation is, I think, quite poor, but the dreams linger with this one. They would. I made unwisely unambiguous references to the invisible world. The Bureau shut down the production on opening night. I was lucky to stay out of prison. And if we hover over this... The Suppression Bureau, an organization founded in service to the duties. The Bureau recruited me when I lived in London, and again after I left the Legion. Both times it ended badly, for both sides. And what is a duty? The mortal and immortal institutions like the Bureau that from time immemorial kept the hidden world from intruding into the everyday. All seems a bit pointless now, really, because of course the impression I'm gathering is at this point the invisible world has forcibly pushed itself into the visible. I thought they'd pulped every copy. Pardon? I mean, how much? 50 Franciscs? It is difficult to find this one. Don't have the money, unfortunately. Large manila envelope. I have my funds tucked away somewhere safe. Am I really egotistical enough to buy a copy of my own book? No. We will leave that be for now. Though it may come back to be useful at some point. Anyway, is this your bookshop? It is now. Now, you say. Since the war. Ah. We'll search for a quotation. Success! So far, so good. We've gained 2 Forge experiences. In loving one now dead, we arrive pure at the glaciers of memory. We are fortified for life. Blessed are those who died in the earth incarnate. Acted with passion, sorrow. The bookseller starts, then moves to cover the start by stubbing out her cigarette. She approves and is now appreciative. Ah. Excellent, I acted correctly. Poets, the state perhaps is wise to lock them up. She lights another cigarette, eyes glittering until she wipes them with the back of her hand. Alright, I guess, we've kind of made our small talk, so let's jump into the business that brought us here. As I apparently lose my voice continuously. Also, yes, I can close this now. Yes, it'll all be in the footnotes later, so we can kind of examine our knowledge. I regret we sell only books here. Let's see. Let's be honest. I like to be truthful when I can. Sometimes you have to lie, but this doesn't feel like one of those cases. We'll just say that it's important and that we heard she had come here. This Nina, what does she look like? I don't recall getting a description. Pale as pearl, white. I mean, those feel kind of like two sides of the same coin. Though the second one is more, because pearls are pale, are they not? Every pearl I've seen has been whitish. White as chalk kind of makes me think that That's more of like describing her as if she's like a corpse, basically. Whereas Pearl, I don't have a good... My mind is short-circuiting on that one, but, you know, it's a more favorable description of someone who is, you know, basically never gets any sunlight. Like me. But you know what, let's be less direct. If you'd seen her, you'd remember her. I kind of get that impression. No, I've seen no one like that. Oh, maybe I should have. Okay. I'm gonna try that one again. Yes, I said. Any news? Ah, okay. So this has also taught me the important thing, is that unlike some games where you can kind of just try every single dialogue option until you get what you want, we need to be a little careful with our options. Okay, so I guess that is it for now. So either she has definitely not seen this person, or we have not... No, we haven't really said the right things. A bit grim out here. I am now chilly. As are we all. Alright, let us make our way off down these lovely white streets. A bulky manila envelope bulges inside my pocket. Let us retrieve its contents. 2 passports. Neither qualifies me as a citizen of the French state. My British passport in the name of Spencer Hobson is valid, though the place of birth is false. Okay. 1 passport. My pre-wars French passport in the name of Sylvain Hussier gives place of birth accuracy, or accurately. But the France that issued it no longer exists, and the passport is long invalid. Gained Third Republic passport invalid. Interesting. And we also have our traveling funds. Mostly Darlinist Franciscs. Plus a few in corporate dollars. Oh my. And a packet of Bonanza cigarettes. The dollars will be accepted everywhere in Western Europe. The cigarettes everywhere there's a black market. Alright, useful to know. A single Ministry Dahlia. Dahlia? Doila? Let's say Dahlia until I am corrected. And a razor blade. Useful things, razor blades. Yes, we can finally shave. We shall discard the envelope. Alright, we have lost the... Though, you know what? In real life, I would never discard a perfectly good manila envelope. You never know when you're going to want to put stuff in it. Also, I feel we're like half an hour in and I've barely done anything. Mostly because I keep rambling off on little side tangents. I assume we don't want anything to do with this person, because there's like a very obvious caution warning. So we shall go this way instead. Could that be who we're looking for? I mean, what sort of crazy person just sits out in the rain? Some nice flowers and or greenery. What do we got? Right on the border between autumn and spring. It must be exhausting to be a flower in this world now. Oh wait, is that... Oh wait, are you sitting in the sun? Because I feel kind of silly. I didn't actually notice like the significance of this line. I gotcha. We've gained a memory of scent. There's also a big ol' crack in the world here. And there. Wouldn't want to fall in. I assume that would be really bad. So much for public safety. Beyond a prosaic and ragged edge of earth, a gulf blue, blue descending to black. Lean over, oh god, 70... I could sniff it, which would have absolutely no chance for us. We have a bit of a chance to observe successfully. This is a wound, so we could craft some stuff here. But I'm going to lean over the edge. Hopefully the fail chance is not that we fall in. Though that could lead to something fun, so let's do it. Stars? No. You'd find those in the sky, or occasionally in Russia. These are something below the earth. Gained 2 lantern experiences. As I watch, one light winks out, then another, giving us a little bit of winter influence. Beyond a prosaic and ragged... Oh, wait, that's the description we've already seen. So there's nothing else I can really do here for now. So we shall step away and go talk to the flowers a little bit. Ah, we're no longer chilly. The heat strikes me like a friendly fist. I am now perspiring. Gain never memory of scent. Actually, with that in mind, I'm going to wander on over here. And also, scents do nothing to sweeten the mood of the woman sitting opposite. Fresh scents well kept. I assume there's going to be value in having a couple of scent memories, which I assume we can then trade. Let's also... Oh, let me clear... What fresh hell is this? If the toast alerts start to pile up, you can right-click to dismiss all of them. Ah. Gotcha. That is also a very useful tip. Alright. Autumn is dead and you will remember. Mademoiselle... Zelia. What? You are the Signaire? I'm Zelia. Do not ask my family's name. She disapproves and is now wary. That is unfortunate for me. Let's see. No, this is none of my business. What is this? Skills overlap. Sophistication and hushery might both let you spot forged art. Bosque and preservation are both relevant if you ever need to deliver a baby. So you might see a dialogue choice with 2 skill icons. In this case, you'll automatically use the skill with the best chance of success. So this one has 3 possibilities, I think. Alright. Sure, let's involve ourselves in someone else's business. Why not? Which, once again, has been successful. 30 years ago in Brankrug, I met a man who called himself a Signaire. Not a true adept, but he knew some tricks. Enough to break the laws of the world and the church, doing little works among the people, giving us 2 knock experiences, and a memory of Anastasis Brankrug 1920. His business, like others who came to Brankrug, was healing and warding, and he didn't take payment in cash, only services. The ones who took cash payments, the masks, were exactly the ones he was brought in to defend against. What kind of work is this, madame? Is it, after all, a Signaire that you want? Or maybe I should say nothing, just kind of let her speak until she invites me to respond. You know, be respectful. Oh, nope, that, maybe that was not the answer I was looking for. Dang, I should have spoke up. Yes, let's get to our business. Don't know if she's gonna want to speak to us, but we shall see. Let's see. Ah, Lagasse. Oh yes, I know about this Lagasse. We've finished our business. We will speak of her. Oh, when we've finished our business. Ah, maybe I do have to go back. You are sitting dangerously close to these holes. Let's see. Holes? Oh, does she not notice them? The wounds. I am not, and there are no holes, and the matter is in any case irrelevant. Interesting. Right, I feel like I have left, I have made a bit of... Oh, I declined. Not my thing. Why then are you here? Oh, damn and blast. Though I would have failed anyway, so I can't really do much, blast. I hate closing myself off. Beyond a prosaic and so nothing, no longer chilly again, perspiring again. And there's nothing new compared to the last hole that we examined. Alright. There's part of me that feels like I am making terrible, terrible mistakes. But on the other hand, everything we do gives us choices. Sunlight, imported. We can turn our face up to the sun, and we will. Ah, we've lost a bit of weariness. Though did I have any weariness? A moment of peace beneath the swaying leaves. We've lost some dread, some pain, and more weariness. Alright, not bad. We can craft. And let's just take a little peek, see, again, if this has helped us in any way. And the answer, I feel, is no. And I can't get through that gate. Let's have a read of the old statue. Bit more crafting. The shadow of a shadow. To our dead, 1914 to 1919. Dark years and darkness hangs here like smoke. My first war that. I was a chaplain with the Dorsetshires. In different times, I'd never have been attached so young. A memory uncoils. Gained my past. St. Ulio's Eve. Cambrai, 1919. Gained a bit of dread, and we are now growing uneasy. Let's see. You've gained your first trouble. This happens. Life in post-wars Europe is awful. Fascination, dread, weariness, and pain are reduced by sleep. You'll find somewhere to sleep later. Traces will slowly creep up if you sleep in one place too long, but are reduced by traveling. If you let a trouble rise high enough, it'll start causing you problems. See the footnote for the trouble you just gained. Mouse over the icons under your character portrait whenever you want to see how your troubles are affecting you. You can also see your trouble totals in your inventory. Why inventory? Because troubles can occasionally be used in crafting. Right, so we have a little bit of unease and a little bit of chilliness. But nothing too terribly serious to trouble ourselves with, I think. We shall continue. Alright, so I don't think, again, it's not really any crafting for us to do right now. Let's have a little peek in the old inventory. Wayfarer's sign, our razor blade, and an unobtrusive notepad, which give us some useful things, and nothing else of much worry. Ooh, I can switch into a fancy housecoat. But we will not do that now. For the time being, let us wander off. I feel like maybe I should have been a little bit more careful in my responses. Thought that by saying nothing, she would appreciate it, but evidently that is not the case. Sometimes you gotta speak up a little bit more. Now, does this friendo have anything of use for us? The mirror shows a completely different room, a larger shop, in late evening or early twilight. The elder Janvier. My old premises in Paris. The last summer I was there. The mirror is useless for any practical purpose, but it's difficult now to find a working mirror, and it will help me remember when my wits finally fail me. A great many years from now. Yes, a little bit of compassion. Which the world can always use. Gaiety. Gained a little bit of heart. Poise. The other face of elegance. Elegance. The other face of poise. Giving us a little bit of winter. We'll clear all those out, and we'll chat to this fellow. He's a hat maker, I'm assuming, given the hats that we see right here. Tweed gray eyes steady behind the spectacle lenses. Come in, welcome. Gives us a very long and pointed look. You remind me, monsieur, of a man I knew long ago, before the wars. It is good to see you again. You knew me as... Ooh, did we give him our real name or our fake name? I'm gonna say real name. Obviously, we're given the choice here because we can actually decide how all this worked out. Oh, wait, wrong. Oh, but he does approve of that now. He is now appreciative. Enough to make me a subject of rumor. Oh dear. Yes, I did, but it's been 10 years, more. You look very different, but not so very much older. I wish that's how I felt. Sorrow. An unresolved thread, Monsieur Hobson. We saw each other last in Paris, when you had but recently completed your service with the Legion du Seul. You gave me your uniform to tend and mend. You also ordered a new suit of clothes. On the basis of our long acquaintance, I asked for nothing on account. In these many years, I abandoned the matter of the new suit. I apologize. However, I believe I have your old uniform here in the back. The repairs are complete. The small sum is payable. You kept it all this time. Not kept, really. The envoys are dispersed across the continent now. We sold our premises in the Republic just last month. A number of long-abandoned items were sent on to me. Gratuitous. We keep a small stock of other goods. Perhaps you'd like to see that. or discuss a commission. Let's see. Let's see what you have. Commerce. Since the wars, cash is king, barter is queen, and the black market is the power behind the throne. Every merchant prefers to be paid in their local currency, and they'll only pay out in that currency, but they'll grudgingly accept a range of others. Legitimate state merchants like Janvier, for instance, prefer the francisque, but will usually accept dollars, sterling, or Swiss francs. Harder currencies like the dollar are more widely accepted, but the local politics are important. The state won't accept republic currency. The dollars are unwelcome in Ministries territory, but if you can find a black market merchant, they'll often take all kinds of currencies, even cigarettes. Alright. You are in fact not selling... Oh wait, no, this is what you're selling. Do I want any of this right now? And the answer is, I think not. Not until I really know what value it has to me. So we shall say goodbye for now. And it has been a pleasant surprise to meet you again. I just want to say as such. They're wounded. They're cold abysses of silver darkness. Ah, we have some new stuff to talk about. Yes, I often pass them on my constitutional walk. Janvier, I say to myself, these are bad times. I had never expected to outlive any city that I called home. Then I reflect on the last round of bad times, and the time before that, and the time before, and so I shrug. I complete my constitutional. I'm not a repairer of abysses, but only of garments. I admire your aplomb. I thank you for the admiration, Monsieur Hobson. The elder Janvier approves. Okay, so nothing more to say for now. And I guess I'll have to come back for that suit you said you have of mine. By the by. I don't really want to get too heavily involved with whatever's going on here. They're just standing guard over their flag. People and their flags. What about the fountain? Anything interesting to learn from that? Unclassified category, as they used to say at the office. Dark shapes move beneath the surface, more like spreading stains than fish. I have a feeling watching them is going to be bad for my sanity, but let's do it. Something undefined about the shapes. Are they moving? Drifting? They never quite resolve. An acrid odor wafts from the water. Something seeping through. Everywhere leaks now. The Bureau must be overwhelmed. We have gained a knock influence and a bit more dread. So, yeah, we might want to go back to the sun. Assuming I can, go there repeatedly in order to manage my dread. We also have a little bit of trace, which is not necessarily a good thing. We have gained another scar memory. They kept the cicatrix under control, but it doesn't look as if it's getting any better. Lately, it discolors the wallpaper inside. Residents often develop sympathetic marks of their own. Let's step into the church. Would Nina be in a church? I do not know. Though we're also almost at the end of our time for this episode, so let's take a little peek around, chat with this person, and then we shall have to say goodbye and reconvene. A wounded greyhound wrestles with serpent's eyes blazing. I remember the story. In the province of 700 years away, or Provence of 700 years away, a nobleman leaves a greyhound to protect his infant heir. On his return, the child is absent and the greyhound's jaws are stained with blood. Oh, I remember this story as well. This is a real thing. In rage and terror, the father kills the dog. Then they hear the child's cry and find it under the cradle, along with the monstrous serpent that Guinefort has slain. Though I was under the impression, at least in our world, eventually this dog, the church kind of stomped down on the dog's veneration. In fact, if I recall, I don't remember my history that well, but as I recall with like history of Christianity, there was like a point where there was like millions and millions. Well, maybe not millions and millions, but, many, many, many saints. And then the church is like, you know what? There's too many saints. We're going to stamp down on this a little bit. And of course, you know, Dog was one of the first to go. Dog's the only one worthy of being venerated as a saint, I say. You know, because dogs are pretty, you know, what you see is what you get with them. A picturesque tale. Father Simeon told us that story in the Seminary Minor in Paris. It must be 40 years ago now. 2 Rose experiences. St. Stephen's Eve, Paris, 1907. It upset me then, and it moved me now. It intrigued me for years. The story shows up everywhere in different dress. A wolfhound in Wales, a pet bear in Spain, in Georgia it's a panther. And that, Guinefort, is why, before you risk any good deeds, you always make sure you know who will get the credit. I'm gonna go with option 2 on that. Act it with curiosity. Excellent. Excellent. That is precisely the passion I wanted. The sadness that remains from time in flesh. A woman in blue, martyr's palm, saint's halo, dark eyes, sea beneath stars, crossed needles behind her head, and a necklace of pearls. Is there... I don't think there's a wrong answer to any of this. There's always a part of me when playing games, it's like, oh, what's the right answer to get? You know, but I feel there's no right answer, or rather, there's no wrong answers. Her eyes, are they open? Yes, just 2 blots of black lead and milky glass, with the carefully innocent vagueness of every iconographic virgin. It's, oh, actually, this is a case where I don't think, any choice is necessarily going to lock us out of, exploring the other options. I remember her martyrdom. She was burnt and beheaded. Somewhere in there, she was forced to drink boiling pitch. Then her body was set to drift on the sea until it washed up on a coast somewhere. That's terrible. Saint Reparata. Why on earth would someone do that to a person? Honestly, I kind of feel like both. I'm going to focus on sympathy. Nope, but we're also really building that dread up. A woman in blue. Blue garment, starry sea. She's the patron saint of the city and of fishermen. Let's see, saints collect patrocinia in much the same way. Let's see. In much the same way that magpies collect trinkets, dogs collect fleas, adepts collect reputations. Let's go with that one, because it kind of feels like it's relating to us. Giving us a little bit of ambition. And don't think I can... Don't have a good shot at this. Let's see what else we can see. A necklace of pearls and tailor's needles crossed behind her head. Neither is a recognized attribute of Saint Reparata. Interesting. So there may be something else beyond, you know, the obvious there. But what? I do not know what to say. Let's speed through that. And you know what? Oh, wait. We actually are up to 85% here. All right, we have taken our time. We have learned as much as we can. And success? Huzzah. The church acknowledges some hours, denies others, and is ambivalent on the rest, adopting them as metaphors and parables, or as saints, giving us 2 heart experiences. An adept would identify this as an image of the sister and witch. And as so many times before, I'm enmeshed in some business of the hours. I should go carefully, giving us another memory of Saint Reparata's Eve, Brankrug, 1938. Who are pearl, who cannot be touched, who cannot be separated, an aviform hour bringing together what must be together, sometimes trusted, the enemy of division and separation. Or wait, it also just occurred to me, if I hit confirm. Oh. Interesting. Okay, so there's actually, it would seem, a lot of value in going through all these little tooltips and footnotes and whatnot and picking up stuff. An aviform hour. The aviform hours wear the shapes of birds, twin funeral kites, laughing thrush, dove, crow. My heart would add a magpie to their number. The night would suggest a seventh. Interesting. We'll dig into all that later. For now, let us continue on. And I should remember first that the sister in witch brings together what she can, and that she's the enemy of severance and disjunction. Alright, so I think we've exhausted our examinations over here, so let us chat with the individual here and see what they have to say. When the sun's house is quiet, the priest blinks slowly as if struggling to focus. Father Jamais? Light perpetual shine upon you. Did you wish to... But wait, let me see. Is it you? Oh, and he approves of us slightly. Yes, it is me. You know what? I'm actually going to immediately go with the first option, playful. Might as well be kind of cheeky with the fellow. Whimsy. Aspect pool recovered 1 moth, 1 rose. Then you'll open her eyes. Certainly. Hollow of spirit and brazen of heart, she said, and that you would open her eyes. The priest turns the gesture at the stained glass window behind the altar. Her name, you see, is Reparata, but not her only name. Mine is Jamais, and that is all the name I own. The eyes of the saint. The father has asked us for assistance in opening the eyes of Saint Reparata. We shall nod confidently. I learned my lesson from that last situation. Are you quite well? Well, no, not for some time now. Thank you for asking. Oh, good. He's now very receptive of us. He shifts from foot to foot, like a rain cloud buffeted by wind. Okay, so we can either immediately jump into that. I mean, I guess we might as well ask for a favor in return. I don't think that would hurt. Oh, and there's our picture of her. The saint will bring you together, you and this Nina, once her eyes are open. Alright. Let us, And we've already examined it, but I guess now that we know that there's some kind of puzzle going on here. Let's see. She said you would open her eyes, but the saint's eyes in the window are open. What did the priest mean? And I do not have any... Actually, wait. It would be a 99% shot at this if I had a quell item. But I can't actually select it right now. So I don't have what is necessary. Maybe we'll talk again and see if we can get a little bit of extra information here. Light perpetual shine upon you, my son. True as far as it goes. I was ordained at Plymouth Cathedral 30 years ago now. Oh, I should have known. Forgive me, my friend. Honestly, I couldn't say whether or not I'm still, bureaucratically, a priest. I moved on before the process was complete. For all I know, the Vatican lost the paperwork, but either way, the mark remains. Don't be silly. The eyes of the saint. You said I would open her eyes. The window, the saint, or... Oh, yes, yes. A melancholy, friendly crinkle of the eyes. Let's see here. Your saint is the sister in witch. Eyes of the saint in the window are open. If I've gathered enough information from the window, I might recall an odd folktale. Do we want to be heretical? Let's take the, this option right here. That feels... And we have succeeded. They tell a story in Brancrug, where once I was a priest, about twins who came across the sea from the west. They looked too long at the sun. One could see nothing through her left eye. One was blind in her right. So St. Columba cast seawater on a fire, and when the steam of it had cleared, so had their sight. The words of the saint dwell in your ears. Now your memories will dwell in our eyes. Come with me now. Now? Yes, to the seal. Okay. This way. The climb is a little steep, I'm afraid. For behold, the sun offers the waters of the sea as from an ewer. The heat strikes me like a friendly fist. I'm now perspiring. We shall try to complete the quote, I guess. He lays up the deep in his house of lights. Just so, my friend. Exactly so. He kneels down to scoop a little seawater into an empty biscuit tin. Decorate it with gamboling lambs and chipped enamel. It's a beautiful day. Nothing like the drab town streets. Recall what was... Do I want to recall bad things? Or maybe be happy? You know what, let's try to be happy for once. That seems good. There are parts of the Mediterranean now where the sea is mud or blood. Here still, it's the Bay of Angels. Blue is the remembered skies of childhood, which has also ticked away some of our dread, which is exactly what I was hoping. There, we have what we need. Back up the path and back under the sun through the rain curtain, gold to gray. Shady shelter from the sun, we are no longer perspiring. Now we shall see, and perhaps... also, the saint. The honor is yours, my friend. Okay, I shall cast the seawater on the brazier before the window. Brazier? Brazier. Gotta be careful of the pronunciation, because those are two different things. A cloud of steam, and then nothing obvious has changed. The eyes of the saint are complete. Gather experiences on the journal. Let's see, finishing a plan gives a choice of experiences. Collect them by clicking the plan, which you'll find under the finished column. Fire and water, salt and sun. It is done. Should I say thank you? Yes, thank you. I'm glad I could help. But let's ask about Nina. The world divides, the saint unites. I am to tell you that Nina Lagasse entered the sanitarium aujourd'hui. Is that the sanitarium of today, if I'm remembering my French correctly? Nina's trail leads to the sanitarium. Okay, so now we have a little bit of a guidepost. It's up in the cap, past the park, outside the town. If you find her, I think that would please the saint. I hope that it'll please you also. We shall see. Alright, so that is our first look at traveling at night. You know, a lot of mystery. I feel like, you know, we're an hour in and we have barely scratched the surface of what there is for us to uncover here. And I, for one, am quite intrigued. So, I think we'll definitely have to play a little bit more and see what happens when we actually catch up with Nina, assuming we do catch up with her at the asylum. The trail may be cold by then, but we shall, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But until then, as always, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. And again, I believe by the time this video goes up, you may be able to check out the demo for yourself. And that said, I will see all you in the next video.